Good evening, this is your Deacon of Drowse on the AudioSnooze webcast. Today we are going to have something a little bit different for you. We've had in the past different scripture verses, different scripture passages that we've brought out. And this time, today is Scenic Saturday. We're going to have a chance to travel audio across the world, and I won't spoil the surprise where we're going to go today. But I wanted to, first of all, start off with some thank yous to those who have liked or befriended us on Facebook. Thank you to Amy. Thank you to Susie for liking us. Wanted to encourage all of you to help out your friends who are having insomnia and sleep issues. Tell them about the program. Get them to like us on Facebook. Make us their subscription on YouTube. Also, we're on Twitter. And this week, I just put us also on LinkedIn. So, link up with us on LinkedIn. Tweet us on Twitter. Befriend us on Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Today, we want to help you get to sleep. How do we do that? We are going to have a time where we are going to seduce your insomnia. In the olden days, there used to be a lot of storytelling. In this day and age, life has been going so quickly that we've pretty much lost the art of storytelling. Remember when you were 4 years old, 5 years old, and your mom and dad would tell you a bedtime story. You remember how pleasant and sleep-inducing that was. So we're going to take you back to the days of yesteryear, the days of Hi-Ho Silver and Howdy Doody and Happy Days. So we are going to, as I said, seduce your insomnia. We're going to say to your insomnia, come over here, take a look at this, as I tell you this beautiful story about this land of beauty and joy. Come over here. Take a look in this box. Yeah, that's it. Take a look at this box. See what's in here. Come on, there's nothing. There's no reason to be alarmed. Come on over. Look in this box. And then when they look in the box, when your insomnia looks in the box, I close it, and the rest of your brain falls fast asleep. So that's basically what's going to happen. It's like when your parents were telling you bedtime stories to make you forget everything from school and from the playground. And that's what I'm going to do here. This is for adults, but it's the same technique, basically, that long-lost art of storytelling. Once again, I thank you for joining us and encourage you to tell other people about this. Give us feedback. We've done 2 scripture readings until now, and this is going to be a little bit different. Please tell me what you think of it, what your opinion is, whether it was easier to fall asleep, harder to fall asleep. I know the answers aren't going to be the same for everybody because sleep is not the same for everybody. There's some people that have a hard time falling asleep. Some people have a hard time staying asleep. Some have a hard time falling back asleep. So I don't expect the same things to work for everybody. But we're going to try to snuggle up here as my cat just jumped on my lap, snuggling up to me. I hope you're not allergic to cats. I guess you can't really catch an allergy by audio. And I hope it doesn't have any traumatizing memories of cats in your lives. So I hope this is enabling you to fall asleep, remembering the purring of a cat, as my cat Nikki does right here. So with my cat snuggled up next to me, and the time for sleep rapidly approaching, I will say goodbye here and pick up with the Scenic Saturday. So for Scenic Saturday, we have a picture of the Duomo in Italy, and I don't think I'm going to end up putting anything visual on the telecast, but if I do, we'll have some pictures here. Maybe if it's just a snapshot, we'll do that. Maybe I'll create a snapshot here for you. So after having taken my snapshot and a few technical difficulties, I'm back again. Nikki's taking his place again alongside of me. And we are back live with the Milan Duomo. I consider Italy one of my favorite places after having lived there. It's a beautiful place, and I took a trip to Milano with a wonderful and beautiful Christian lady who was my girlfriend at the time, Sarah. Hello to Sarah if you're out there. It was a marvelous trip, and I'll leave out anything that might get your fight or flight or arousal going. But stick to things that will help you fall asleep. But it was a fantastic trip, and the Duomo was among the highlights there. So I'm going to be your Michelangelo right now, or maybe if I get some abstract words out there, I'll be your audio Picasso instead of the realism of a Michelangelo. But I want to describe this scene for you so that you can picture it and then fall fast asleep with beautiful images of Milan, Italy in your mind. I greet all my Italian friends with ciao and tanti auguri as I begin this audio painting. So it's 4:50 here in the US in the afternoon. So over in Italy it's 10:50. So the piazza or the plaza is completely dark, pitch black from the sky, and there are silhouettes black against the white or lit background. So it's painted, this campus is painted in mostly black, with the rest being whitish, yellowish, greenish tints. So using my broad audio brush strokes, that's what the scene looks like. There are people walking around on this piazza. As we look at it, you could discern people on bicycle, most of them walking. Now, the Duomo is a beautiful cathedral, shaped more or less in the shape of a pyramid. It's kind of a dumpy pyramid because the top is a 90-degree angle, and there are spires and very narrow towers that are interspaced along the front of this pyramid shape. There are 10 of them in all, in 6 groups, 2 in the first group on the left, then 1, then 2 in each of the 2 center groups, then 1 again, and 2 on the right-hand side. Tall spires pointed very sharply at the top. And then the front is of a yellow tint because of the lighting upon it, but the lighting changes slightly. The hues change from green, a slight greenish tint, to a slight yellowish tint. Now it's pretty much yellow, orange, and then goes back to green again. So the hues will change as time passes. Now it's a golden color. The 6 groups of towers produce 5 doorway areas. The middle doorway is very, very large. I would say that 7 or 8 people could stand in front of it and pass through it at the same time. And it's probably 20 feet high. So the door is huge. The smaller doors, of which there are 4 between the other groups of spires and towers, are smaller, but still could probably fit 4 or 5 people through side by side, and they're probably 15 feet high. The doors appear to be a dark green but I don't know whether that's because of the dark black, pitch black night combined with the yellowish tint to the building, or whether that's their real color. But they appear kind of greenish and very dark olive green. And then there are windows above those 5 doors. Beautiful. Next to the Duomo, there is another building of arches. Several buildings on the left-hand side of the piazza, or plaza as you would say in English. And those buildings have columns in front of them, and topping the columns are arches. And each arch is lit from behind by lights, mostly greenish or goldish color. The first building on the left coming into the picture is one that has 4 arches capping off 4 pillars. On top of that seems to be some kind of a deck, because there are multicolored lights that are rapidly changing, like somebody's up there eating dinner, having a party or something. It's very beautiful, going from red to blue to cyan to green. The building above that is kind of set back from those 4 arches in that patio area, and there are some more columns and Roman capitals capped off by arches, and they are completely lit from behind. Then next to that building, or maybe it's the same building, but it kind of sticks out. It looks to be another building sticking out. We have another set of, looks to be 4 arches, 2 on each side of a large entranceway. And that large entranceway is a huge arch. It looks to be probably 50 feet high. And on the top of that arch it's lit up inside in the facade mezzanine area. It seems to be decorated beautifully on the ceiling, painted in gold, somewhat like, almost looking to be some kind of birds with their wings outstretched, and on the ceiling, all stacked one on top of the other. Then on each side of that central entrance archway, you have the 2 pillars, and on the second floor, which is much, much higher than the entrance level, probably 40 feet high, you have another set of columns and arches. And at the very top of the building is a very strong capital, very strong type of shelf architectural design. And above that, it's too dark to notice what the roof is looking like. After that building that juts out, there's another building. Looks to be more modern, maybe from the 40s or 50s. And that building has 3 levels. The first 2 are columns, probably 15 or 20 of them, that are lit from behind on the first floor with green light in the area where the people are walking through, kind of a covered walkway area. Above that, the second floor, the lights are on the columns, a beautiful white, light yellow column. And the third floor is unlit, except periodically there is a light that's coming out from behind the Duomo. And I don't know whether you can hear it on this recording or not, but they're having some kind of a concert there. And the concert lights of purple are shining up from behind the Duomo, what appears to be some kind of a stage, and it's shining on the building, lighting up the third story just as much as the first and second, but in a purplish hue, a very beautiful purplish hue. Then the top of that building also has a strong capital, a strong shelf-like architecture at the top, as they did back in the 20s and 30s with Art Deco and the architect Sinclair. Then beyond that building, where it seems to be beyond the back of the Duomo, but up that street, there's a building that is pretty much square, not very remarkable in architecture. The first floor seems to be possibly a window type glass facade. The second story seems to have a bit of an architectural influence with some windows. There are 5 of those windows. The windows are probably 4 or 5 feet wide and spaced 4 or 5 feet apart, and probably 7 or 8 feet tall. And then the top of that building seems to be just your regular business windows. So you've gotten a sense for what the buildings are like in the Duomo. So now let's get into the details that you see. There are some cars that are passing through the crowds very slowly, deliberately, and some of them are police just keeping the peace. And here comes one now. Nothing wrong here. Everybody's just enjoying themselves, so you can move on, Mr. Policeman. And he seems to be just monitoring the whole situation. Well, it looks like I can increase the volume here. Maybe you can hear a little bit of what's going on in the piazza. Seems to be modern music, not your Botticelli or Stravinsky, but the concert seems to be for young folks. And that seems to be more or less who's out there now at 11 o'clock their time. And people are milling about in groups of 5 or 6, some in pairs, lovers together, friends, arm in arm. Seem to be very few children out there because of the time, most likely. But a lot of people walking around the piazza that is lit by some streetlights. Streetlights are also architecturally harmonious from the era, producing a lot of whitish light. Don't seem to be incandescent, so probably an LED or fluorescent light, but the light's not that strong to interrupt the romantic atmosphere. In front of the Duomo, there's a statue of a man that's on a horse. You can only see by silhouette since it's not lit in any way. So it's silhouetted up against the Duomo, which makes him look like a cutout of the Duomo. It's a man on horseback. Seems to have some kind of cape on him. Has a hat that's almost looks like a cowboy hat, although that wouldn't be congruent, I guess is what you would call it, with the location. So it might be one of those Napoleon style hats that has a large brim, and he's got his arm outstretched at about his hip height as he sits on the horse, almost like he's patting something next to him, but there isn't anything next to him that I can tell. So it's just his position as he rides. The statue is set quite high. The platform on which he stands is about 8 feet off the ground, and then he's got his own platform that's another probably 20 feet off the ground, maybe even 30. So he's set up very high off the ground, and like I said, not lit up in any fashion, just a silhouette against the church. Now we have another car going by. People with their umbrella closed. Looks like an umbrella, expecting it to rain, but it hasn't been raining. No umbrellas are up. People are just walking slowly across the scene. It's a group of 2 people. One seems to be taking a picture with his cell phone, taking a picture of somebody else against the backdrop of the Duomo. So, it looks like there's an area here that people are coming up and down the stairs out of the pavement. So there seems to be some kind of an underground area. That's right, I believe there was a metro stop, or as you English say, the underground, or as you Europeans say, metro, or New Yorkers say the subway. There's some kind of a subway in that area that has a stop at the Duomo. So that seems to be where some of the people are going up and down. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. There seems to be on the pavement, seem to be stone patterns in the pavement of squares and squares within squares and spaced along. Somebody just honked their horn, but it's a very tranquil, joyous scene. People with their phones and just walking hand in hand after dinner, I imagine, enjoying their time. And I hope this has put you to sleep by now, and you are well in your own image of Italy, that you've found your restful sleep in Bell'Italia. So I hope this was of use to you. Please let me know. Hopefully you're not hearing this, but if you are, you can write me a note saying that it didn't work for you. I hope not, though. I hope you're all sleeping well, as I've become sleepy just describing it for you. May you have a good night.